We start in India, where at least 18 people were killed and more than 100 injured when a passenger plane skidded off the runway in the southern city of Kozhikode. The Air India Express flight from Dubai was carrying 190 passengers and crew. Heavy monsoon rain appears to have had a role in the crash.
Eyewitnesses described the plane's fuselage breaking apart as it fell into a valley some 10 metres below. The Boeing 737 flight from Dubai was repatriating Indian citizens stranded by the coronavirus pandemic. A disastrous outcome for passengers that had waited months to fly home and reunite with their families. Among the victims were the two pilots, as well as at least one young child. I found a child under a box on the plane. As soon as I picked her up, her head had serious injuries. Small child, 1.5 years old. I took the child in the car. If she was in the ambulance, maybe she could have been saved. I took her to the hospital, but she died. The remaining passengers and crew rescued from the rubble are being treated at several hospitals in the city. Many are in critical condition. Indian Prime Minister Modi tweeted his condolences to the families of the victims. Heavy rain has battered the area in recent days and may have caused the aircraft to overshoot the runway. Officials say that whilst rescue operations are over, they fear the death toll could rise.
Well, joining us now from the Indian capital, Delhi, is DW correspondent Nimisha Jaiswal. Nimisha, do we know anything more about the condition of those injured in the crash?
Well, Anthony, at least 18 deaths have already been reported after rescue operations took over 3 hours and all the passengers were evacuated. Dozens of passengers have also been injured, and at least 15 of these are seriously injured, according to reports from the police on the ground. Now, these injured victims have been taken to hospitals in Kozhikode itself, as well as the neighboring town of Malappuram. Now, rescue operators say that despite the nature of the crash, one of the reasons why the fatalities have not been higher is because the plane did not catch fire, possibly because of the heavy rains that caused the accident.
And thoughts pretty naturally turn to how and why the accident happened. Now, what are the initial thoughts of those in charge of the investigation?
Well, Anthony, it seems that the kind of runway could have been a main factor on why this accident happened. These runways are called tabletop runways, which basically are formed like a plateau. Investigators are already saying that perhaps it was the rain which caused the plane to skid off this runway into the valley, which was a 35-feet drop. And an accident of this nature has also taken place before in another similar hilltop runway in India itself. 10 years ago in 2010, 158 people lost their lives in a crash in very similar circumstances. But of course, the Ministry of Aviation has ordered an investigation. The black boxes have already been retrieved and more information will keep emerging.
Nimisha Jaiswal with the latest from India. Thank you so much.